Hi, and welcome to Cranial Diarrhea. I'm Tiff.
And I'm Socket, electric socket.
I knew you were going to say something stupid. Why are you electric socket?
Because I'm charged.
What?
I don't know. My biggest fan will get that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I told her you were going to shout her out.
Yep, so I'm shouting her out.
You remember her name? I told you.
Yes, you did tell me just like 3 seconds ago. I do remember her name.
What's her name?
Jess.
There you
Right?
go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
See? I told you I'm charged. I'm like an electric socket. I got backflow and everything going
He
on.
appreciates you, Jess.
I ate some beans earlier. I got backflow and everything going on.
She's going to hate that we called her out, but nobody knows who you are, so it's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't really. We're the only ones that listen, so what does it matter?
True story. And you, because you're going to be in it, right? So.
Besides looking up how to fraternize with or get freaky with ghosts, what have you been doing this week, daughter?
God. So we're switching things up with the show a little bit. We're
We
gonna yes, I'm explaining it.
You didn't tell me this.
Why do you need
Why
to
am
know?
I the really? Why do I need to know?
Why do you need to know? You don't prep for the show anyway.
My name's Clueless.
Yeah. So what we decided to do is we're kind of gonna branch off to like sticking to a specific topic. We're kind of all over the place, and these are things that like.
But now in defense, that's kind of normal for us anyway.
It is normal for us for sure, but these are kind of things like these are topics that I feel like are very
Why are we doing this?
interesting because I talk with my hands.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I'll start talking with mine. Hey, I'm Mr. Hand.
Oh my god. So anyway, these are topics that I don't know about you, but I find interesting, and I would like to expand upon.
I'm interested.
No.
Just ask Jess.
She's texting me right now.
Is she?
Love you.
It's funny.
Um,
She's putting input in.
Yeah.
By the way, and that made daughter admit that I'm hilarious. So yes, thank you very much. Because I know I'm hilarious. Yeah. Wow, I'm sorry. These text messages are real important here.
It's from she's one
It's
of
from
my
my
best
number
friends.
one fan. She's just friends with you because she's my
Anyway.
fan.
So anyway, so
I'll
this,
send you an autograph.
you don't
Tell me
want
whose
it.
picture you want. I'll
It's-
find one and sign it.
Monkey Head Joe.
I think he left. I think he went to Memphis.
So anyway, this
Get a
week.
peanut butter and jelly
Can you
sandwich.
shut
Peanut
up?
butter banana
Shut
sandwich.
up!
I told you I was charged. My name's Socket.
Have you been
Electric
drinking too?
Socket. Yes, I've been knocking back Diet Dr. Peppers all day.
It dripped on me. So this week's
I'm not going to say it.
show we decided to do about ghosts and spirit
Who you gonna call?
hauntings, things of that nature. And so anyway,
I wonder if Chuck Norris would whip a ghost if they battled.
Chuck Norris can whip anybody.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. The earth pushes down.
Anywho, so I was trying to do some research. The
I thought you were
topic
telling them how we were changing the show.
I just did, and
Oh,
I'm
I
going
missed
into. Oh my god.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I was trying to do some research, and initially I thought I was on Google.
Research.
By the way, I was on Bing.
Oh, okay. That explains
Nice.
nothing.
No, but anyway, so I was trying to find a weird news story that was related to a ghost that would kind of tie in with the topic of today. And so I typed in, I was looking for something that was like kind of freaky, like out there, whatever. So I type in freaky ghosts, and before I can hit news, the suggestions, the search suggestions pop up, that list. And at the very bottom, it said, how to get freaky with a ghost. And I just want to know, what in the hell are y'all doing out there?
I want to know what you're doing.
Whoa.
She
So,
called me and I'm like,
I didn't
what?
want it on my search history, right? But then I couldn't, I was like, you know what? Like, I have to go down this rabbit hole because I need to know.
You didn't. Did you really?
So I clicked on it.
Oh, my.
Never gave me any information on how to get freaky with a ghost, right? But it came up with some stuff like how to contact and
Maybe it was
whatever.
a ghost ghosting you. You got ghosted by
I
a
don't
ghost.
know, but I don't. The thought has never occurred to me personally. Like, you know what would really be fun if I could like get it on with a ghost.
Could you imagine if ghosts use that? So like when humans pop on, they swipe left or right.
It's like a
swipe
ghost
right.
Tinder.
Swipe right. Swipe right. Oh, love me tender, 'cause I'm a ghoul, and you are kind of a fool.
Like, damn, Brenda's been summoning me a lot this week.
Talking about a real booty call.
No, Brenda, no.
Don't you worry about what I order from Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Who you gonna call? Huh.
Hey, I got some facts.
All right, let's.
Now, I'm going to have to do this a little different. We're just going to kind of talk about them. Because, really, can you really verify these facts about ghosts?
You really can't. So I think what we do is you give me the fact, and then we'll each decide whether we believe it's true or not, and why. I think we go that route.
So ghosts are more active at night because there's less electronic disturbances.
So I'm gonna say true, and the reason I think that is because all of the ghost hunter shows and like your haunted tours and everything like that, they're always done at night. I don't know if that's for the reason that you just said, or if it's because it's dark, so it makes it scarier.
Well, here's what I'm wondering. When it says less electronic disturbance, is that really true anymore? Because if you really think about it, society's now 24/7. As many people work night shifts and have businesses going at night as they do during the day. So I don't really know that there's that much of a difference in electrical disturbances during the day and during the night.
Well, you bring up...
Now, there are solar flares, but the clouds protect us.
You bring up an interesting point.
I do, the solar flares and the clouds.
But they do say that spirits can use the energy from electronic devices and whatever else to communicate, or
But how do they know if it's night or day? Do they have a watch? Do they keep time?
Well,
Do they have a little
know.
calendar? They write their plan down 7 p.m. Get freaky with you.
I don't know. I can't answer that for you. You should get a Ouija board and find out.
No, I'm good, thank you. I got a 2x4 board. Here's one that I kind of think. This one to me kind of makes sense. Kids and animals are more likely to see ghosts and interact.
I think that's true.
I think it's because, if this is true, I think it's because kids and animals don't have the cynicism of the world.
They're more open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're absolutely open-minded.
Well, I don't know.
100%.
People getting freaky with ghosts, that's pretty open-minded.
Whew.
That's a lot.
Jesus, Brenda. Get a hold of yourself.
Well, I think we figured out what's the guy they looked on the milk cartons for all that time? You know how they put missing people on the milk cartons? They're all fornicating with the ghosts. Ghosts stay in a state of dilemma because they're not sure that they're not aware that they're dead. So you're in a dilemma right now. I think, how do you know what state a ghost is in?
I think that's,
Excuse me, Brenda, are you in a state of dilemma?
That's an interesting theory. I don't know. Maybe some of them don't.
I mean, have you ever had a ghost come up to you and go, "I'm in a state of dilemma"?
But I would feel like if you're like, okay, like you're a ghost, right? And you're in your house, and like, have you ever seen that movie, The Others?
No.
With Nicole Kidman? Okay. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but
No, it's not like I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, so the whole time they're like, this house is haunted, like there's weird shit going on, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, the blinds have to stay closed because their kids are like allergic to the sunlight or something weird there. But they keep getting opened, and she's like, who opened the curtains and blah blah. And there's other stuff that happens too. But then you find out that her and her kids are the ghosts, and it's people that are like living in this house that are doing these things, just living their normal life.
But, so if ghosts stay in a state of dilemma like that, do they have ghost psychologists that they go to?
I would...
Like, make appointments?
According to Beetlejuice, yes.
Did you see when Beetlejuice, when his head got shrunk? That was so cool.
Yeah, like he had the Zika virus.
But is Beetlejuice really a ghost?
He's the ghost with the most.
He pulls off the pinstripes.
Ghost with the most.
Ghosts never sleep. They must really get tired.
Wow. You
Maybe
don't
that's
have
why-
a body.
Maybe that's
to
why
be tired.
they move kind of slow. They get tired.
You don't have a body to be tired.
How do you know?
You're literally just energy.
I wonder if they don't have a body and they drink a beer, does it just like,
What? How would they drink a
is
beer?
it like they pee? Just straight through?
I would say no, because you
You don't think
literally
ghosts
do
have
not
beer?
have a body.
Now, some ghosts with the pranks that they say they pulled, they've got to be drinking something.
I have to say, if I were a ghost and I came, I'm gonna haunt the shit out of everybody. 100%.
Are you like a fan of turds or something?
I'm gonna be like those TikToks where like they're trying to communicate with me on a tape
Ooh, I don't
recorder,
like ticks.
and
They
I'm
get
like,
stuck to
I'm
you.
like, murder.
Was that an extreme close-up? Close up.
Am I dead? You know, like, just like shit like that. Like, what's her name? What's her name? Marjorie. That's not her name.
Margarine. Her name's Butter.
It's like those TikToks. Anyway,
Parquet.
I would fuck with people hardcore. That's my plan.
Hence why you looked up getting freaky with ghosts. You know, I don't
Everybody needs to shake it up now and then.
I don't like ticks either, because ticks, they get stuck to you. I've never heard of a talk. Is that
all
like
you
a,
had?
No. Look, I got more.
I just want you to shut up and move on. Okay.
Oh. Is this the new format? Shut up and move on?
Shut up and move
Okay,
on.
that's what I'm going to do then. Here we go. Ghosts are attention seekers, so if you smell perfume, see smoke or fog, be aware.
I think that's true. Because as a ghost, like, you want someone to acknowledge you. I just killed a mosquito. That's like number 322. Because down here, where we live, mosquitoes are the state birds. Do you think that's true?
Ghosts cause trouble out of boredom. You told me to shut up and move on. That's what I'm doing. I'm following directions for once.
Ghosts cause trouble out
Do I
of
think
boredom?
that's true? I don't know, because like when I'm in a store and people walk by and smell perfume, does that mean there's a ghost there?
No. No.
Or like if I wake up in the morning
Like-
and it's foggy, does that mean there's like this huge ghost sitting on Smyrna?
In your house, if it's foggy in your house, yes.
Well, if somebody smokes in your house, it would be foggy. What if I have a fog machine in my house and I set off the fog machine? Then why is my hand so close? Hello?
I think your next fact falls into the same thing.
Oh, are
They
we back
cause
in
trouble out of boredom. I don't think it's boredom. I think it's they're trying to get your attention.
Well, according to this, they're bored. That's why they cause trouble. I don't know that it is.
Wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it is either, because I don't cause trouble when I'm bored.
100%. If I was haunting somebody, yes, I would do that.
And the last fact that I looked up on ghosts, which is really cool, which is going to really eliminate the use of certain products in a house, is ghosts love the smell of lemon. Can they smell?
I don't think that's true. That's
I mean,
weird.
how do they smell? You're telling me they can't drink beer, but they can smell lemon?
Maybe it's a memory thing.
Would you really want to be a ghost if you couldn't have a beer every once in a while?
I don't know, but I know if I were a ghost, I wouldn't be attracted to the smell of lemon pledge.
You're going to be a freaky ghost. You've already examined all that.
I'm gonna get me the ghost Tinder.
What's that?
Swipe left or right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we talked about that. Swipe left. Swipe
That's
left.
what I'm doing with my afterlife.
Brings
So-
on a new meaning to staying up with the dead.
God.
All right, so
So now we're gonna move into weird stories. Yep.
those were some pretty cool facts, right?
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't find any. I'm surprised that you were able to find some. No, I looked for
Because
stories.
I actually do research, not looking up getting freaky with ghosts.
Well, gotta get my kick somewhere. What's your weird story?
All right, this is a true story.
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
there's this road, and I don't know if it's still there or not. I need to look, but it's in Nashville. And I think it was called Pinhook Road.
Mm-hmm.
But legend had it when you drive down, there's this one big steep hill, and you come up and you see this like house light off in the distance. But when you drive down, there's no house there anymore. And you come back up the hill, it's like your windshield would fog over and there would be baby footprints across there. Well, legend has it, many, many moons ago, there was a baby killed on that road. And so that was the baby still crossing the road. And the light's supposed to represent, I guess, the parents trying to find the baby, is what everybody said. Well, I thought, oh, this is crap.
Bullshit. Yeah.
I mean, just call it what it is. But I went down there. I was with Beverly.
Okay. That's my aunt.
And
shout out.
Dean,
not that you're ever going to see
some
this.
other people. But
Dino.
We went down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, when you went down the hill, you could feel a temperature change, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then you come back up the other side. Well, I thought, okay, so if it's fogging up a windshield, it's probably from the temperature change, from the change in height, right?
Yeah.
But when we pulled into the little service station when we got off the road and we looked at the windshield, there was actual footprints about the size of maybe like a 2 or 3 year old. So at that point, after I dropped the turd out of my drawers, I was like, I'm going back to Smyrna.
Yeah.
And, but that was really a very weird. Now I have one other.
Okay.
And this involves one of my relatives. And this is really weird because it's like when it was my grandfather, grandmother, and some other relatives right before, when they passed away, right before anybody knew they had passed away. She had said she had a vision that they came into her house, sit down in the chair, told her everything was going to be all right. And then, like, within an hour, there was a phone call that they passed away.
Oh, wow.
So that's really freaky.
Was this your Native American?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your Native American grandmother. Okay.
Yes. So this happened. And that's really kind of freaky.
Yeah.
Because it was your grandmother that it happened to.
Do you want to go, like, if I go into personal stories and then we do the top 5, we okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Let's do, because I'm kind of into
we'll tie
this.
it in.
I mean,
okay.
But those baby footprints really freaked me out.
I've had quite a few interesting.
Now that's because you're looking up getting freaky with ghosts.
Stories.
You get all the freaky ghosts. It's a freaky ghost show.
We getting it on in here.
Oh no, there's certain things that Dad just don't want to hear. Stop. That's gonna be edited.
So, it's really. I'm leaving it in.
There's so many. No, I'm not. I'm not touching. Why do you have big?
What?
I started to say another word for roosters on your trampoline over there, and then I thought that's probably not appropriate for what you just said.
Yeah, we have these big. Okay, so you play chicken on these big.
Okay, let's go back to your ghost story.
Chicken floats, and they were in the pool, and it was storming.
Oh, okay, so you put them over
So
there.
we put him in the trampoline. So we transformed the trampoline into a chicken coop. Anyway. So on the subject of personal experiences, so I've had quite a few, and I'll just go through the most notable. So, my great grandmother was very ill, and my grandmother brought her up here from Mobile, Alabama, so she could take care of her. And my grandmother was also watching my daughter, while we were working. And so my daughter got to have this, like, she built this incredible bond with her great-great-grandmother, which is incredible, right?
What you doing,
But
granddaughter?
anyway, not long after she was brought up here, I would say 6 months tops, my great-grandmother ended up passing away. And the day it happened, I still had to go to work because I had to wait to take time off to go to the funeral because it was going to be in Mobile. So I was trying to hold off, taking time off. And so anyway, I had to go to work. And so I went into my daughter's room to get her up and get her ready so I could drop her off so I could go to work. And she woke up and she said, "Mommy, I had a dream about Mima." That's what we called her, Mima. And I said, oh yeah, what was the dream? And she said, we were playing with princess dolls in a princess carriage, and Mama told me to be good and that she would watch over me and that she loved me very much. And she had passed. And along those lines, a couple of, like 2 years, no, not even 2 years, a little over a year ago, my grandmother passed. And her and Angela, again, were extremely close, very, very close. And her and I were very, very close. And right before my mother called me, my husband was in the living room, and Angela, my daughter, was in her room asleep with the door shut. And Brendan, my husband, said that the dog had gone over to Angela's room and was pawing at her door and whining like something was going on, something was wrong. And about 5-10 minutes later, I got the call that my grandmother had passed, and I truly believe that the dog could sense her, hear her coming to say goodbye to my daughter.
Well, like the fact says, children and animals see them or sense them.
Yeah, there are so many other things. Like, sometimes I can smell her.
No, it's just because you got gas.
She didn't smell like a fart.
Oh, you said her. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, I can smell her sometimes, and then sometimes I see her.
Do you
like,
think
not
something
see her,
like
but
that,
I feel her.
Like smelling. Do you think something like that? It's like if something and I mean it could be. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying because sometimes certain smells trigger certain responses.
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering.
Smell is a really important sense in terms of core memories.
Not when you have bad gas. It's not. I'm just saying.
My grandmother's house always had a certain smell, and it was like this, I don't know if it was like a lotion she used or like what it was. I can't describe it to you, but it always had this certain smell, and it wasn't a bad smell. It smelled like home, and it smelled like, my grandmother. So it to me, in my core memories, it's like love and safety.
So when you smell something
security.
similar to that, it triggers those memories.
Absolutely. And there was one time my mom, I was working, and I caught a whiff of my grandmother's house, and I was like, so immediately you're like, trying to figure out like, where's that coming from? Not 2 minutes later, the smell dissipated, and my mom called, and she was really upset about something, and I was like, okay, that's obviously correlated.
Do you ever do that kind of smell when you fart to see if it's going to stink before anybody else smells it?
No.
I just wondered. Do that smell thing again. But isn't that strange? That
it's 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it said on there if you smell like perfume or whatever, or see smoke or see fog.
Yeah, I've never okay. I've seen a few things. So the house that we lived in before this one had some unusual activity, and I don't know. Like, it was my mother-in-law's house before we lived in it, and her and all the boys grew up there and whatever, and nobody ever experienced anything weird. But then we move in, and like I'm experiencing all kinds of weird stuff. So it started out, at first, I was in the laundry room, and I open up the cabinet above the washer to get something out. So I get it out, I put it in the washer, whatever, I put it back. And I don't close the door immediately. And 2 minutes later, I'm loading clothes into the washer, and stuff starts falling out on top of my head from this cabinet. And at first I'm like, I know the house has foundation issues, so it could very easily be that it's just, tilted and, whatever. I'm trying to explain it away. Okay. And the same thing would happen in my daughter's room, right? So she had this armoire that belonged to my husband's uncle who has passed on. And I was in there stacking books on her bookshelf that just happened to be right beside this thing. And I'm telling you, the door to the armoire swung open and it hit me with such force that it like jolted me forward. Like it hit me hard. And I was like, you know, and again, in my mind, I'm like, it's foundation. It's foundation. It's obviously the foundation,
Or it
right?
could be the crack.
So then one day, I had my, the middle sister of the three of us, she's the middle one, I had her over and I was actually like paying her to clean my house because I didn't want to do it. And so, anyway, I had this cat, his name was Gage, and literally from the pet cemetery, like this was demon cat, like he was going to attack you regardless. So I had to lock him up in the bedroom. I had to put him in the bedroom, shut the door, you know, whatever, and it was just a normal knob, whatever. So my sister comes walking down the hallway and she hears a noise like the knob turning, and so she looks over and she sees the knob turning and the door opens and it opens inward and the cat comes out and she's like and I'm like, oh, you know, maybe the door didn't shut good or whatever, he just pawed it open, you know. I'm really trying to explain this stuff away because I have to live here. I have to live there. So then the thing that really got me and really got my attention, my youngest sister and I were painting in the living room of this house. We were in there painting, and I said, you know, I didn't even say anything. I think I grabbed the tray and the brush. I was going to rinse them out because we were doing like a double color type scenario, and anyway, we were ready for the next color, so I was just going to rinse my stuff out. So I pick it up and I take it to the kitchen and I'm rinsing it out, right? So because the foundation of this house was not the greatest, when someone would walk anywhere in the house, you could feel them walking in the house, right? So I'm rinsing stuff out, and out of the, you know, I feel steps, right? And I feel them retreating down the hallway towards the bathroom. And so I kind of glance over and I see red shirt, blue jeans, right? It doesn't occur to me, you know, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, whatever, you know, whatever. And so I finish up, whatever. I never feel footsteps come back. So I'm like, man, like, number two's in there taking a number two. You know?
Who does number two work for?
Yeah, so I go back in the living room with my stuff, and I turn to put it down, and my sister's on the ladder painting. And I was like, aren't you in the bathroom? And she was like, no. And I was like, did you not go to the bathroom? She was like, no, I've been here the whole time. And I'm like, because we were the only ones there.
Well, did she have on a red shirt and blue jeans?
No. I was like, who the hell? She saw him too. She saw this figure. It was a tall man, red shirt, blue jeans. I don't know. She'll have to tell you exactly what happened when she saw him, because I don't remember exactly what she said, but she saw him too. It wasn't just me.
And she didn't stop painting.
I don't think so. I guess not. She was still on the ladder when I got back in there. But
okay.
We actually had a investigation done at this house.
Oh, really? Who by?
Yes. It was a local team that my mother-in-law knew, like people from work and their spouses or whatever. And they came in, and I tried to stay out of it because I was like, I'm trying to explain it away again. Like, I'm being ridiculous. This is, you know, I have such a crazy imagination. This is just my brain not functioning correctly. Like, something's, it's just me. It's me. It's got to be me. And they caught some pretty chilling EVPs. You know what an EVP is?
That's the voice, right?
Yes. Yeah. So there was one in Angela's room that said, it sounded like a cue hitting pool balls, and then you hear rack 'em. Just like rack them up, you know, rack them. And then there was one in the kitchen that confused me because it was literally like, I was in there for this. I was in there when we were recording, and everybody was dead quiet, and you just hear a female going, Captain.
It's the love boat.
I will say this house was built on the battleground.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I will say that. So that made sense after I realized that. But then, I think it was in my bedroom, we did get a...
They heard, swipe left, swipe left.
No, we did get a voice that said, get out. And it sounded very menacing and very, just not friendly. So, I immediately started looking for a new place to live. Because I was like, absolutely not. But
how funny would that have been if they'd heard, swipe right, swipe right.
well, I wouldn't have known what it meant then. Because I don't think
that's true.
dating apps were a thing
That's true.
at that point.
Like your ghost Tinder now.
I did go to the battlefield one time, and I had an experience that I was planning on keeping to myself at the time. So we're walking towards, we're walking down the trail where there are all these, like, you know, rocks and whatever. And something reached out and touched my leg, and I jumped, right? But the grass was kind of tall, so I wasn't going to say anything to anybody. But then my father-in-law was behind me, and he was like, why did you act like something just grabbed you? And I was like, because it did. But then when we got to the sign, you know, they tell you about different areas of the battlefield or whatever, at Battleground. And that was the place where they took the dead and dying. And I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was known for rivers of blood running through the rock.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty wild.
Oh, we're gonna check a text message from his partner in his other podcast, because that holds the priority for him.
I didn't know who it was from. I figured you were checking text messages a while ago. I might have somebody.
That was from your biggest fan.
I might have somebody over here swiping right on ghost stories or something. I don't know.
That was from your biggest fan.
I know.
I had to check to see what she had to say.
She said I'm hilarious. You already told me.
She said that one time. I don't think she would think you're hilarious now.
Oh, I think so. I do.
Jess,
Miss Ghost.
when you watch this,
yes. Key in on the part that she's trying to get freaky with Ghost. As a dad, I have to, like, condone that action and
she
say,
knows
"Let's
me
not."
though. She knows me though, so she knows what to expect.
But you know, going back to your stories, I wonder, do you think some people are like, I don't want to say sensitive to that, but you know, like maybe more open? I don't know what you would call it.
I think I'm sensitive to it, but I'll tell you who I think is even more sensitive to it. My daughter is more sensitive to it. She gets messages. I'm not.
She
feels things. Yes.
I guess I'm
When
too,
I go to my mother's house, because my grandmother's ashes are at her house, I feel my grandmother there. And when I walk into her house, I feel like it's home, because I can feel my grandmother there. I feel comfortable.
So that too was staring at me, huh?
Yeah. When we went to my other dad's in Florida, my sister and I were sitting at the table and we were trash talking. And his mom, my other grandmother, would be deadly against this, right? She didn't like that sort of thing. And so we're trash talking back and forth and blah, 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 whatever. And a cardinal lands on the tree right in the middle of the kitchen window and just stares at us. And I was like, ooh, sorry, Grandma.
See, I don't guess I'm sensitive to that. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm more of a cynical, I guess is what you would call it, maybe.
You're not open to it?
Nah, I don't, yeah.
I understand that. I get that. You know, when my grandfather passed, that was the first real passing. Like, that was the first passing for me. That was somebody that was really special to me.
I'm not saying I don't believe that like your relatives try to communicate. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for me.
So,
I guess maybe I'm just too like bottom line or something.
If you've watched the show, you know that I'm a Vanderbilt fan.
Oh,
college football, Vanderbilt fan.
I'm sorry.
Go Doors, right? Because
Angels in the outfield can't help them.
Because my grandfather was a huge Vandy fan, and my other dad is a huge Vandy fan. And, you know, so I'm a Vandy fan, and we would go to the games together. I made my grandfather a black and gold cane that had a gold pom-pom on the end of it. So, because he was in a power chair, and his mobility wasn't great. And so when they would score, all he had to do was raise the cane and,
That's
shake
cool.
it. And so I made him that to take to the games. And
Is there a point to this?
yes, I'm getting
Okay.
there.
Just messing with you.
I'm getting there. So anyway, when he passed,
I mean, you lost me at Vanderbilt,
my grandmother gave me the cane back.
which you still have,
I still have it. I'll keep it forever.
which is really cool.
Yeah, and so the first Vandy game that was played, the first Vandy football game that was played after he passed, obviously was very rough for my sisters and I, and we all gathered together to watch it. And I had the cane. I keep his cane with me when I'm watching the games. I don't take it into Knoxville, obviously, because I'm scared something's going to happen to it on the trip. But when I'm
I
here,
would never do anything to your game.
you wouldn't.
Oh, nobody in Knoxville would. We're not violent like Vandy fans.
Okay. But anyway,
What?
my necklace keeps
I was
getting
like, what do you
tangled. It's
keep
supposed to
doing?
be two separate
Go ahead with your
chains,
story.
and
I'm
it's
sorry.
not.
Anyway,
But anyway, so that first Vandy game was really rough, and I was missing him hard. Really, it was awful. And I was holding the cane, and I happened to notice that the gold that I put on the black cane, it's like a gold glitter, Vandy gold. And I moved my thumb, and it was in the shape of a heart.
oh, that's cool.
And to me, and it could be, who knows why that was there. It could have been anything.
But it could very well be.
But to me, it was him saying, "I'm here, pretty girl. I'm here." He used to call me that, pretty girl. I'm here, pretty girl.
I mean,
Yeah.
who's
So
to
it was
say?
very special.
I think that's the thing that makes this particular topic so interesting. It's
Yeah.
open to so much interpretation. There's so many things, and everybody tries to explain everything away.
Yeah.
But there's some things
Yeah.
that are legitimate. It's just not really any way to explain it.
I really think if you believe in an afterlife in terms of heaven or hell or whatever, then you have to believe that there are spirits.
Which I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying there's not. I'm just saying the interaction part. Here's where what I think. I think, is there interaction? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Are some people more sensitive to it? Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Is there people that also fake it? Definitely.
For sure.
I mean, I think
I'll
it's.
give you that.
I think it's. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
I'll
an
give
unknown realm,
Yeah.
Oh, check that text
I
message.
would-
No, just go ahead and check it. It's
I
okay.
would love to go see a psychic medium to get a message from
Now, see, I don't believe in psychics, and
my
here's
loved
why.
ones.
I went to see a psychic one time, and
really?
I went up to the door, and they were out of office. Now, if they're psychic, they knew I was coming, and they should have been there.
There's a difference between psychic and psychic medium, I think.
They should have been there. They should have known I was coming,
A
right?
psychic medium, and I might be completely off base.
What if it's a psychic large?
A psychic medium is someone who can communicate with the
If
dead.
it's a small person like a dwarf, would it be a psychic extra small? Questions come to mind. I don't know why.
Not sure.
If it's a mean
So-
psychic, would it be a psychic?
Are those the all of the personal experiences you've had there, Dad?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess everybody has those ones, where you think you see something out of the corner of your eye, or
Yeah.
the deja vu and all that stuff. That's a
Yeah.
whole different topic. I will tell you one that was really freaky,
Okay.
and I'm thinking it was all of us that went when we went down to the twins' grave.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
you remember,
Yeah, I do remember this. Yes.
just when we got back in the van, she said she was playing with
So my daughter was talking to more than one something that wasn't there, and then when we got in the van, she what was it she did?
She said she was playing with the two little boys.
Yeah, she was playing with the two little boys, and I have twin half brothers that passed at birth. That's where we were. We were at their grave site the first time I had been.
I do remember we went down there one time, and y'all may have been with us, we may not, I can't remember, but we had balloons. And we had like regular balloons, and then we had two like Mickey Mouse or something balloons.
Yeah.
And when we got there, and we were holding them all together, they were all together. But when we got there and we put them on the grave, the two Mickey Mouse balloons were gone, and we looked around and those balloons were not anywhere.
They liked Mickey Mouse.
I mean, they weren't floating, they weren't anywhere.
You know, that's the other thing too. When I first met you, or not when I first met you, but after a few months of being, us being in each other's lives, outside of my apartment, I don't know if you remember this, just out of the blue, we'd lived there for a couple of years, and just out of the blue, these two blue morning glories.
Yes, I do
sprouted.
remember that now that you mention that, yeah.
Yeah, and I did, it's funny because the only time I've ever played with a Ouija board, and I'll never do it again because they terrify me, and the only reason I did it was because it was like a cousin's get-together night, and it was kind of like a peer pressure thing. Like, I didn't want to be like, I'm scared, So,
ow, that was my toe.
Anyway, we were on the Ouija board, and I believe that we contacted them, and they.
I haven't heard this story.
Yes, we were asking.
Is that when you were at Shannon's?
Yes,
okay.
We were asking questions, and we asked them if they knew about me.
That's the night that Ashley left.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she got scared. Yeah.
Yeah. We asked if they knew about me, and they said yes. And we asked who they were. I think we asked who they were, and I don't remember the exact answer, but it was enough for us to believe that that's who we were.
JT and TJ.
Communicating
that's what we
with.
called them.
That's who we were communicating with, but they knew about me. I don't know. It was pretty crazy. So, but I believe we made contact with them.
That's wild.
I think my brother was in the shitter when this was going on.
Was that the one when they were talking about he was in there with the door wide open because he didn't care?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why. So you have one more thing you want to cover?
I do, and this is taking up a lot of time.
This thing's went long.
Yeah.
I just looked at that.
So we can do this in a part 2 if you want.
You want to do a part 2 on this?
I just feel like we're already almost 45 minutes.
All right, yeah,
in.
let's do a part 2, okay? That sounds good. But
okay.
That was really interesting, though.
I think so.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Different concept.
Yeah, for sure.
Different concept. So I guess it's that time, right?
Time to wipe.
Time to swipe left on that ghost Tinder.
God.
I can just see you now. So what was the one from Ghostbusters? What Slimer? He comes out. Oh nope, slap left. Ooh, librarian Slimer. I don't know if it's left or right.
Anyway, closing thoughts.
Until next time, check your ghost Tinders.
Do not Google freaky ghost anything. Don't do it.